If you are planning a trip to, you know what? I'm going to leave that in there because, girl, if you are planning a trip to Greece in the near future and you want a good mix of history, laid back vibes, and the party scene, then this video is for you. If you're new here, hi, my name is Brienne, and as you can see, we are unapologetically just growing and learning and talking our way through this 2025 travel journey where I'm taking you through many of my experiences in international travel last year. So last year, one of my best friends turned 30, and for her big celebration, we talked about this for a while, but she wanted to go to Greece and not just like stop in Greece and be in Athens for the entire time. She wanted to do a bit of island hopping. She, of course, is like a huge history buff, so Athens was on her list. And also wanted to have just like laid back vibes with getting more of like that true Greek feel. So we went to Athens first, and she and her line sister went on a history tour to just learn a bit more about, honestly, I guess it is cool, like essentially taking what we've learned in like our AP World History classes and being able to actually see it in real life. Like that was something that was a top priority for her. Personally speaking, not necessarily a top priority for me. So my sister and I did not join in. So my middle sister came on the birthday trip this year. I've been to Greece before in 2017 as like my graduation gift, and went with my youngest sister. So it was cool kind of going back with my other sister. But yes, so Janae and I, we were like, y'all got it. It was also so hot, and I cannot imagine, what that was like standing in that heat. But she got her experience, they did the whole tour. And then by the time Janae and I got to the Airbnb, they were finished with their tour. I think they ended up finishing early because it was so warm. But Athens is your place to go if you want to learn the depths of the history of the country, and also really just like see many of the things that we saw in our history books in real life. It also definitely has that like Greek charm, if you will. Like we were staying in a Airbnb, but right up the street, I took my morning walks, and there were these beautiful neighborhoods just like scattered all throughout the city. So very beautiful, very historical, cultural, all that jazz. After Athens, we took a ferry over to Paros, and Paros was she was a very cutesy island. We ended up spending the most amount of time across like the trip. We spent the most amount of time in Paros. I loved that it was such a small island where you could literally rent a car, which we did. We rented a car and went to see like the different villages around the island. And we also did a bit of like beach hopping as well. So as we went from like one beach to another, we got a drop top car. So drop top mini coupe. So it was cool, just like dry off and enjoy the views and then go to the next beach and all that jazz. The food was super inexpensive in Paros, and I appreciated that. We did get to experience a lot of local food. So we stayed in Nausa, if I remember correctly, which is like the northern part of Paros. But we did the ferry port is on the northwest side of the island. So we did get to see quite a bit of the island during our time there. And it's just very charming. Like it is everything that you could imagine in like the architecture of a Greek home or a Greek village. Like that was very much the vibe. It was very laid back. So Athens is pretty touristy. Paros had more of a local feel. Now, Mykonos is not a real place, okay? Mykonos, and I've been to Dubai, I've been to Miami, like I've been to many of these glamorous um, cities slash emirates, whatever you want to call them, countries in the world. But Mykonos was on a whole different level. Like, we are on the beach. We're just seeing like PJ after PJ after PJ flying over us. The amount of money that is on that island, I don't even want to fathom. Like, to take an Uber from our hotel to a beach club. So we stayed at, I forget where we stayed, but we stayed, I'll drop the link to the hotel in the chat or in the video notes. But from where we stayed to going to Scorpio's, it was a mile away and $50. And also there were no Ubers coming. Like, they literally, each of us had like tried to book one on our phone, and like they just, I don't understand. I think they're like more so like taxi based or like private driver based there. But yeah, it was insane. Like, just to have I'll have to go back and look at all of my numbers, but everything was so expensive in Mykonos. And the amount of, I don't know, just money, like you could just smell it. It was quite a sight to see. It was very flashy. You could tell like the yachts were insane. People would like park their big yacht in the ocean, obviously, on the side of the road. They would park their big yacht in the ocean. Then they would take their mini yacht to the dock. This was in, is it Yamu Village? What's it called? Village Mykonos. Shopping. Namos Village. So we stayed right in that area. And I remember Patinos. Okay, so Patinos is the name of the hotel that we stayed at. And so we would walk over to like the Namos area because there was a really beautiful beach over there. But we would literally watch people get off of their big yacht, go into their little yacht. The little yacht would then pull up to the dock. They would get off of the dock, go shopping in Namos. So like that's where they had like Chanel, YSL, all the brand, brand stores, you name it, they had them there. And then they would come back from their shopping spree at Chanel, get back on that little yacht, and then go back to the big yacht. And it was just like, it was such a fascinating scene to witness. Scorpios, there was, honestly, we were surprised at how few Black people there were. Okay, let's talk about that. So Athens, we didn't really go out too much, but there were like a handful, maybe 5 or so Black people that we saw. Paros, could count on one hand how many we saw, and we were there for like 4 days. So that was interesting. Based off of what we saw on TikTok, we did expect to see more Black people in Mykonos, but it was so heavy music. I couldn't wait to not hear that type of music for a while after we left. But nonetheless, like Mykonos is a lot of fun. So we knew it was going to be Athens, Paros, and Mykonos. Originally, we were going to do Paros last so that we could like have the more relaxing and chill vibes to end the trip. But we also wanted my best friend to celebrate her birthday, like with the rah-rah, like bringing in her 30s in Mykonos. So we ended up doing Mykonos last. I will add, like, everything starts so late and opens so late compared to what I'm used to back home. So I am like a 5 a.m. early bird catches the worm kind of vibe. But like the restaurants opened much later. Dinner is much later, like when you want to make reservations. And when we decided to go out, like for my best friend's birthday that night, like I don't think the club actually started getting lit until like 11, 12. And then it ended at 6:30 in the morning. We did not make it. We did not make it till 6:30. I think maybe around like three or so, like we called it, but it was really fun, like, you know, partying with people from different countries and just seeing how they vibe out. It was that I will say that part's really cool. We saw the most amount of Black people in Mykonos, and it was a good time. I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't go back to Mykonos or Athens. Paros, I could see myself going back to, but I also think that there's so many other islands to explore. So all in all, like if you are thinking of going to Greece and you want the vibes that I alluded to, so Athens with the history, Paros with like laid back, charming, and then Mykonos with the rah-rah, that's a really solid itinerary. I can share the link to the Notion board I created with all of the excursions and like places that we ate if you would like. Let me know and I can add that in the comments or the video description. But nonetheless, Greece is cute. It's a time. And hopefully this is helpful as you're planning. So for the next few days, I'll be sharing different components of the trip and things to look out for, things I was surprised about, things I was surprised at, how much stuff costs, all that jazz. So I will see you tomorrow for the next video. Bye.